What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. So I've got right here the 15-inch M3 MacBook Air and the 15-inch M2 MacBook Air. And here's the thing. Why even make a video about these two? Because the upgrades are so minimal. Is there any reason to upgrade from the M2 15-inch to the M3 15-inch? And spoiler alert, the answer is no. There's really no need to upgrade to the M2 to the M3. But we're going to just dive into just the details about each of these devices and what's new with the M3. So the main upgrade obviously is the M3. It does outperform the M2 in single core tasks by about 70% and multi-core tasks by about 21%. And obviously there's just a small bump by about 15-ish% in GPU performance in the M3 over the M2. Not only that, M3 is much more energy efficient. The 3-nanometer fabrication process enables this M3 to achieve higher performance without an increase in power consumption, which does obviously help, and it definitely helps for those who want a balance between power and battery life. And that, for me, that's important. I want to have a balance between good power and battery life, and we're getting that with the M3 MacBook Air. In addition, the M3 also has support for 2 external displays. But the thing is, the lid needs to be closed. As for the M2, we're getting support for 1 external display. In addition, M3 has Wi-Fi 6E support, and M2 only has Wi-Fi 6 support, so just do keep that in mind. And also, if you do pick up the M3, I believe it's a midnight color, it does have an anodization seal that reduces fingerprints, but it's still going to be there. Like, it reduces, doesn't mean it completely gets rid of it. But yeah, I went ahead and I picked up the M3 Space Gray over the Starlight M2. I just wanted to get a different color, and I also did try the M2 in Midnight as well. So I just have to try silver left out of the 4 MacBook colors. But here's the thing. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm not going to go into like these tests myself and show you guys and do all that stuff. I'm just here to talk about it with you guys. No need to upgrade from the M2 to the M3, especially like if you're just using it for emailing, that's for phones, but emailing, browsing the web, watching videos, just some photo edits here and there, or for Microsoft, PowerPoints, docs, whatever it is, you should be perfectly fine with the M2. And here's the thing, I edit videos on Final Cut Pro with like 2 to 3 streams of 1080p footage. I've had no issues with the M2 MacBook Air. The only thing I did notice was over time, the battery life wasn't lasting as long, so the degradation was a little bit quicker than what I had originally anticipated, but it still performed like a champ. Final Cut Pro easily tackled everything I threw at it. M3, obviously, I'm making content about products like this, so I was going to upgrade anyway, and I'm trading in my 15-inch MacBook Air. So this, with a little bit better of battery life and just a little bit improvements, even though they're small, in single multi-core and the GPU performance, I'm definitely going to, in terms of numbers, get better performance. But I edited a couple videos on the M3 MacBook Air already. It's been great. 2-3 streams of 1080p video, no issues whatsoever. Again, if you're just going to be emailing, I keep saying calling, emailing, browsing the web, Microsoft Docs, PowerPoints, editing some photos, even videos, you're not going to have any issues whatsoever with the M3. But if you already have M2, again, no need to upgrade to the M3. Here's a catch though. Even though it has Wi-Fi 6E support, still no need, and it has support for external displays, 2 of them, the lid needs to be closed. So if you want to use the lid, or if you want to use the MacBook Air with your external display, you can only use 1. So that's just one of the caveats you get. But if you are in dire need of a MacBook Air that has support for 2 external displays, and you don't care if the lid's closed, then this is going to be it. You're not even going to look at the M2. You're going to get the M3 MacBook Air. But I love the 15-inch MacBook Air. I would easily recommend it as a starting laptop for majority of people, especially those who are getting into college. I actually finished up, I got into like my last year-ish with the 13-inch M2 MacBook Air. Once the 15-inch came out, I finished off my college. I got my degree while I was using the 15-inch M2 MacBook Air. And it's just great having a larger screen with a light build to it. It's still fairly light compared to the Pros. Previously, you can only get a larger screen if you went with the Pros, but now we don't have that issue. We can get a 15-inch display with an M3 or an M2 MacBook Air. So just do keep that in mind. If you want the larger display, then I would say go for M3 MacBook Air. Here's the thing, Apple isn't selling the 15-inch M2 MacBook Air anymore. They're just only selling the 15-inch M3. However, they're selling the 13-inch M2 MacBook Air at a discounted price. So starting price of the M3 15-inch starts, I believe, at $11.99. You can go with the education discount for like $10.99. But if you want to get the 15-inch M2 and save a little bit more, you may have to go for like a used, refurbished, whatever it is, or just if someone else is selling it, buy it from them. You're not going to be able to find this on Apple's website. Maybe they might put it up, on their refurbished site later on. Who knows? Maybe they already did. I actually didn't even check recently if they did, but they're not going to be selling it brand new. So just do keep that in mind. So again, it's like the question mark, what's the point of this video? Well, here's the thing. There's no need to upgrade. Some may want to upgrade, but there's no need. Honestly, I would even say if you're looking for a 15-inch 15-inch MacBook, or just a good starting price or starting laptop in general, I would just say go for it and get the 15-inch M3 MacBook Air. You may not need 2 external displays right now, but in the future, you may come across that need and you want to use it. So you already have that, whereas if you go for the previous model, you don't have that. You get the small upgrades in performance and whatnot. So, do keep that in mind. Overall, everything else is essentially the same, getting a little bit of a better battery life and battery efficiency, as well as good performance. I would easily recommend this to like 90% of people here, especially in the US. For those who ask me oh, I'm starting college or I'm going to high school. Yeah, I need a laptop for, this, and I need a laptop for that. For most people, I can easily recommend the M3 MacBook Air. And again, I'm saying this because I edit videos here for the channel. Again, my workflow isn't too extreme, and hopefully as the channel continues to grow and I start to dive a little bit more into the details of the video, I probably will end up upgrading to a MacBook Pro. But this is my main device. This is my main power horse for the channel. It's the M3 15-inch MacBook Air. This is where I get all my work done for the videos. Obviously, Final Cut Pro, editing photos. I'm using it for scripting and writing notes for the channel, emailing, and doing all sorts of things, even watching content on here. It's all done with the 15-inch MacBook Air. So yeah, easily can recommend this device. But yeah, if you're out on the market looking for a 15-inch, specifically MacBook Air, honestly, just get this over the M2. It's just going to be better overall. But yeah, hopefully M4 has some substantial upgrades over the M3. We'll see when that comes out. I don't know when it will. But in the meantime, I hope you guys did enjoy just this video of me talking between the two devices. I will be returning my 15-inch M2. Well, not returning, but trading in my 15-inch M2 MacBook Air. Say goodbye to the Starlight color. I wasn't a huge fan. I thought of it at first, oh, I like it. But I ended up not liking it. Obviously, I'm just going to go with Space Gray. I like the Space Gray. Maybe next one I might get a Midnight, or if I go MacBook Pro, getting Space Black. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to smash the like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel a lot. Will help push my content out to more people. And that's been it for me. I'll catch you guys in the next episode.